So I wanted to do a bit of a unedited video here just to keep it real, talk about the state of the game, Silver and Blood, talk about my future plans for this channel, what kind of content you might see, maybe some other games I might cover. But yeah, let's just get started. I'm gonna do some dailies in Silver and Blood and I'll talk a bit about what I think are some things that need to change, some issues that are possibly overblown. First of all, I do want to talk about the skins. So these monthly boons with the recolor of default skins is just it's unacceptable. So I play Nikkei and I've thrown some dollars at the monthly skins, and they're just such a higher quality than what we get in Silver and Blood. And we used to get two monthly passes, and we always had this, kind of skin recolor, but we also had other skins that were, a bit different. Like we have 3 skins in the shop, and not counting this one down here. I think this is Hattie's skin that you got just for playing the game, basically. I haven't bought any of these because I prefer to just stick to the monthly passes, which include, at least like a 10 or 20 pull, and some extra resources. But these are fine. I would say these would fit right in with the monthly passes and they would sell. There's no way they wouldn't sell more monthly passes if these were included. But as they are, I'm not interested in buying them. So now let's talk about Timeless Aiona. I'm a big fan of Aiona. I love her character. She's my favorite character in the story. Her voice actor is exceptional, and I think people have kind of overblown the issue with her power. So yes, she is far and away the most overpowered character in the game, and it's not even close. But I've seen people saying that they won't even play the game unless they manage to re-roll into a Timeless Aiona, or they're worried that their account is bricked if they don't manage to pull her. And that's just, it's absurd. One, because this character wasn't even available at the start of the game, and people finished the campaign before Timeless Aiona was even available. So right away that completely disproves the I need this character to be competitive kind of thing. Now, they have changed the game a bit to compensate for Iona's power. The first one being, they've kind of made Night of the Hunt and Clan Hunts have modifiers that completely invalidate Iona's kit. So like here for the Clan Hunt, Plague spreads, allies lose HP equal to 2% of their max HP every basic attack, and those with less than 2 HP or 2% of max HP die instantly. So this is dealt as true damage, which means it ignores shields, and Aiona can't be healed. She converts all healing into shielding, and true damage bypasses shields. So Iona's not usable on this boss. She is usable here, but she's not very good because her damage increases the farther away she is from her target. And you can place her at the edge of the storm so she doesn't take damage from it, but she's not going to do nearly as much damage as she's capable of. This one, she's dead in the water because she starts the fight at 50% health, which means she's gonna be stunned immediately, which effectively she's dead. Aiona is a dead unit on this fight. So that's just some examples of how they've nerfed Aiona indirectly or directly in PvE. As for PvP, we had the change where all damage taken is reduced for the first 60 seconds of a fight, which is a massive nerf to her. I would say it's more of a nerf to the chronometer stacking that we saw. Chronometer stacking is still good, but if two players at a similar blood power level are fighting each other, the fight's not going to end immediately like it did before, where it was just like whoever gets to Iona ult first is generally going to win. There are some exceptions. It's obvious that they do acknowledge Timeless Iona's power as an outlier, and they're making steps to increase variety in team compositions, and I think they're doing a good job. I'm especially excited for more synergy systems like we saw with Letitia and Van Helsing and all the other people used in the Wind Chaser synergy. And it has brought Van Helsing up to a pretty respectable effectiveness. Letitia is great. I think she's one of the best units added to the game recently. There's rarely been any bad units added to the game. The issue I have with the amount of units we're getting every month is that I just don't have the resources to build them. So there's like a lot of units that I want to use, but I can't because I don't have the books to increase their skills. Like, I don't get to use Transcendent Noah much. I haven't gotten to use Genevieve. I haven't gotten to use Agnes as much as I've wanted to. She's very good. But yeah, just examples like that. All right, so I guess another thing I want to talk about is the monthly events. I'm going to start off with a positive here. The monthly event for Quinn and Agnes was amazing. It was fully voiced. The story was engaging. It had heartfelt moments. It had funny moments. It had tragic moments. And both of the characters, Agnes and Quinn, great voice acting, great character design, great chemistry between both of them. Just, I can't sing enough praises about that event. It was peak. It was definitely the best event we have had. The Albrecht and Stella event, I thought it was pretty good. It was a little bit confusing. Silver and Blood has this kind of alternate reality and time traveling layers to its storytelling. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint where exactly something is taking place or when exactly something is taking place. But with the event for Quinn and Agnes, I didn't really have that confusion. It just felt like a side story that was happening alongside the main story. Or, all right, let me restart. The event for Albrecht and Stella involved the main characters, and if you were caught up in the campaign, you would have some big questions about why they are there. I'm not gonna spoil anything for those of you that haven't progressed that far in the campaign, but a lot of things happen, and it doesn't really make sense for them to be in this happy festival together, just like living out their best lives. So that was a bit confusing. So this game is slowly starting to turn into a bit of a main character harem, and at the end of the most recent event on Wind and Wing with Letitia and Serafina, I kind of chuckled when they took some time to just describe Noah like making out with both of the new female characters. And I was just like, wait a second, is this Snowbreak? I don't mind the fan service, but I prefer it to be a bit more grounded and maybe isolated to side stories. I hope that in future chapters and side events, they focus more on telling a compelling story rather than just fan service. I have a hunch it's going to be the latter, which isn't enough to deter me from playing the game entirely, but it does hurt the experience for me personally. Also, it doesn't bother me that a side event is unvoiced, but I think I would prefer that there be no grunting or one-liners or whatever they have going on instead of having proper voice acting. I don't want to constantly hear, how could you? What a letdown. How could you? What a letdown. How could you? What a letdown. You know, broken up with some grunting and moaning. So yeah, I hope the next event that we have is a bit higher quality than what we've been getting with these past couple. Now let's talk about characters and banners and how they're not adding any of the new characters since Quinn and Agnes to the standard banner. It's confusing. So we're kind of put in a situation where most people don't want to pull at all, even on the standard banner, because we have all the characters we want and we're not able to fish for dupes of these new characters. So let's see. I have Letitia at Spirit Siphon 1, and I'm not gonna pull for her anymore because it's just too expensive to Spirit Siphon, and I haven't spent any money on this game in a while. I used to just do the $5 monthly pact, and I think I did buy one monthly skin pass. But yeah, I would like to max out Spirit Siphon for more characters that I have. I have so many fragrant residues. I stupidly spent a lot of my standard banner pulls just because I was bored. Like, I wanted to pull, but I would like to max out Stella. I love Stella's character design. She's definitely my favorite character that's been added. Yeah, I want more copies of Ulrich and Fanny and, you know, Genevieve, but they're not adding them to the standard banner, and I don't know when they will. I'm expecting them to do it whenever their half anniversary rolls around, and I really hope they have big plans for that, because the content we've gotten has been pretty poor for the most part since I'd say for the past couple of monthly events. Now, I do like the Crypt of Doom. I like having the harder content, and I'm looking forward to doing all the new bosses they have for it, or new rehashed bosses. I like the new relic they gave us, the new artifact. It's really good with Letitia. So yeah, I'm not completely dissuaded from continuing to play Silver and Blood. I still really enjoy it. I love the combat. So let's talk about the campaign. I enjoyed most of it. I haven't finished chapter 20. What really dissuaded me from continuing the campaign is the lack of voice acting. Now, I said that it doesn't bother me too much that the side events don't have voice acting. Obviously, I would prefer them to have voice acting, but if they don't have it, that's fine. Main story chapters absolutely need voice acting. I just become way less interested when there's no voice acting for the main story, especially when I think back to the earlier chapters and how exceptional the voice acting was for almost all the characters. Like, they all do a great job, and I was honestly so surprised because I'm not used to that. I'm used to gacha games. I haven't played a whole lot of gacha games, maybe like 3 or 4, but I'm used to the English voice acting being pretty spotty. Maybe having like 1 or 2 good voice actors, and the rest kind of being acceptable at best and bad at worst. But yeah, I really think that we need voice acting for every main story chapter. No excuses. So now I guess I'll go on to talk about the future content I'm gonna do for this channel. I enjoy doing the guides. I've been dabbling in doing some shorts. I've been doing the character guides and the shorts. I'm considering what games I want to cover. I play so many different types of games. I primarily played MMOs for like the past 20 years basically, and that scene's kind of died out, so I picked up gacha games. to kind of fill the grind void that I had. But also, like, you know, CRPGs. I play a lot of shooters. I figured I'd start maybe with other gacha games because it's kind of the audience I'm attracting right now with the Silver and Blood videos. So I was thinking of maybe doing like Nikkei videos because I do actively play that. I haven't finished the story. We just got the story mode difficulty, so I can finally catch up there. But I love Nikkei's story. It's great. It's very emotional, and I love the art. The gameplay's okay. Other gacha games I played Girls Frontline 2 for several months. I quit a few months back, basically when they started talking about adding the skin gacha and locking most of the dormitory features behind the gacha. That wasn't like the sole reason for me quitting. The game was just kind of boring. I had a V6 Klukai and I swept all content every day. Like logging in daily was just clicking through menus and then logging out. And any new content they added was just easily trivialized by power creep, basically. And then the end game content, which was Gunsmoke, is more or less just attacking a meat shield that does nothing. And it's just, you know, an ego measuring contest. Who spent the most money to do the most numbers? It just wasn't for me. And every new character that was coming out was, I mean, the game's so easy that you could beat the game with the standard characters, like the characters available in the standard bearer. But every new character kind of felt like it wasn't going to be any better than your previous characters, unless you invested heavily into them, you know, swiping. So all those things kind of, I don't know. I didn't want to play the game anymore because it didn't feel satisfying. And that's when I kind of started investing more time into playing Nikkei and shopping around for other games. I played Snowbreak for about 50 hours. I got to the point in the main story where it kind of just became like a harem simulator, and I kind of lost interest. I might cover it, but it's not something I'm actively playing right now. I might try to go back to it just to try it again. I gave Genshin a shot for the 5th anniversary. Honestly, I was extremely underwhelmed by Genshin. The aesthetics are incredible. The game is beautiful. But aside from that, it felt very shallow, and the amount of resources you get to get characters is like, it's abysmal. Like for their 5th anniversary, they gave you a standard banner SSR, you know, characters that have been in the game for like 3 or 4 years. And they also gave me what, like 10 limited banner pulls. That's awful. But yeah, I played Genshin for, I don't know, a week. I couldn't get into it. It didn't pull me in, but I can see why people enjoy it. Nowadays, I feel like open world games have to be super engaging for me to stick with them. Genshin felt pretty empty. It felt like playing an MMO by yourself, which is never a good thing. I've dipped my toes into Wuthering Waves. I haven't really given it a fair shot. I'm always a little bit apprehensive about starting up a gacha that has been around for a long time, because it always feels bad to be so far behind, you know. But I guess I should I'm considering just giving it another shot, seeing if I like it, because I do like the character design and I've heard good things about it just in general. I tried Duet Night Abyss. I gave it a few hours. It's not bad. I love the character design. The gameplay, I give it like a 6 out of 10. It definitely feels more like copy pasted Warframe gameplay rather than Warframe inspired gameplay. There are a few quirks I don't really like Like instead of being able to just aim glide, you have to shoot your weapon. It feels like an oversight, honestly. When I played it, I guess the servers were really laggy because I had a ton of input delay, like 3 seconds of input delay for everything, moving, attacking, whatever. Also, there's so many systems, so many things to upgrade, so many things to equip, so many things to do, and it's just why do all of these things exist? It's overwhelming, and that's always something that can be a big deterrent for me getting into, is how many systems you have to keep up with. And Do at Night Abyss definitely had a lot. And another thing that kind of prevented me from really investing time into it is that I quit Warframe after like 500 or so hours because it got to a point where I was just like, yeah, the game's adding new content, but really all I'm doing is just running in circles, killing the same mobs for hours and hours and hours and hours just to get like marginally more powerful every week, basically. And I kind of saw the same future with Do at Night Abyss. It is something I could see myself going back to, maybe after it's had a little bit of time to be polished. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Everything I had on my mind here to talk about. I like doing these kind of unscripted rambles slash rants. It gives you a little bit of insight on who I am as a person and things I like to do and talk about my plans. Yeah, let me know what you think about anything I talked about in here. What do you think about Silver and Blood? What kind of content would you like me to do? What kind of games are you interested in seeing? I'm down for pretty much anything. I mean, I'm always gonna be covering something that I enjoy playing, so I'm never gonna force myself to play something I don't enjoy. So yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.